wherever you're going to be tuning from, whether it's going to be Facebook, whether it's going to be Instagram, whether it's going to be YouTube. I'm actually trying out a new platform. Okay, I'm trying out Restream, which allows you to stream on multiple different platforms. So whatever you're tuning this from, I want to welcome you, Muhammad Abdurrahman here, or you can call me hashtag Mindset Mo. Okay, the mindset coach who educates, empowers, and enriches people when it comes to philosophies that govern the world we know in, okay, the world we live in. And whether you know those philosophies or whether you don't, they are either working for you or they are working against you. So whichever one you are, I just want to welcome you. I hope you and your loved ones are, first of all well and in good health. I hope you're all staying safe. And it's really exciting to be able to see people are doing all sort of events, not just online events, but really getting together. So really everything is going well as far as I know. And if there's anything that you would like to educate me on, feel free, please, to always DM me or feel free to always message me. Okay, whatever you're tuning from, I can see we have Instagram live taking place, we have YouTube, we have Facebook, we have LinkedIn, we have multiple different platforms that this new tool that I'm trying is actually allowing me to stream on, right? And as I'm trying this new software, I'm actually gonna provide each and every one of you with a piece of content, okay, with piece of value, with piece of tools that you can actually take with you and really get value. Okay, and that is something I want to educate each and every one of you, as far as each and every one you should be concerned. This is something you're gonna find value in. Okay, so think about it. We live in a world where everybody is taught, hey, go work, go work extremely hard, and you're going to become successful somehow, somehow in life, right? And what do we know? We that's why we have the saying, most men die at 25, but they're not buried until they're 75, right? Think about it. By the time someone is 8, 9, 10 years old, they have all their dream cars, the dream house that they want to live in. But by the time they're 18, 20, they're told, hey, go get a job, go work, stand for uni. I myself, I'm not against education. In fact, I praise education because we all have to be educated somehow, right? But at the same time, we live in a world where people are said, hey, go get a job, and then work for 40 years of your life, and then you will retire with 40% pension. Imagine you couldn't even live with 100% of your pay. Now you all of a sudden have to live a 60, 70-year old with a 40% pension. It makes no sense, absolutely. But I hope you are well, and we're going to get straight into this piece of content. Think about it, okay? I became an entrepreneur for about 4.5, 5 years ago. Okay. And I started off with drop shipping. Went into trading for a while, FX, and then we, done multiple different things until I came across network marketing, and I stuck with network marketing, right? Because it absolutely made sense to me, make money by helping others make money, help, people save money on their essentials, and of course, impact as many lives as you would like. So it completely made sense to me. Partnered with a company that's been around for 20 plus years, expanded to 20 plus countries. So it completely made sense to me, right? But think about it. When a few years ago got started, I used to always concern and I used to always be worried about the how-tos, the techniques, the strategies, right? How am I going to get a new customer? How am I going to present? How am I going to speak to new people? How am I going to do this? The hows were all that I was concerned with, ladies and gentlemen. The how, right? Of course, you gotta learn how to get a customer. Of course, you gotta learn how to train people. Of course, you gotta learn how to speak in front of people. Of course, you gotta learn how to be a good leader and lead many people towards their goals. These are all important, but they're not everything, right? I used to always be concerned about the how. And in fact, I would recommend each and every one of you read a book called The Magic of Thinking Big. And in the first chapter, the author actually highlights how an executive was speaking to his team, and he said, "Hey, ladies and gents, how is it that John is making, okay? Think about it. John is making 10 times each and every one of you. How? How's John making 10 times more than each and every one of you, right? We can all argue that, yeah, maybe John went to better educational, better place where education is better than the rest. That wasn't true. He was actually from a neighborhood which was the average, right? We can all argue he worked 10 times more. No, nobody can work 10 times somebody else. Nobody. Think about it. If you're someone that works 5 hours a day, yeah, we can argue that someone works more than you if they work 10 hours a day, because then that means they're working twice as hard twice more than you, right? Think about it. What about if you're doing 5 hours a day and somebody's doing 15 hours a day? Yes, someone could work 3 times more than you, right? What about if you're working 5 hours a day and somebody's working 20 hours a day? Can somebody work 20 hours a day? I don't think so. You think so? Let's hypothetically say, yes, somebody can work 20 hours a day and you're working 5 hours a day. That means they're working 4 times more than you. What about 5 times you? The average person, ladies and gentlemen, in London, in the United Kingdom, works, let's say, 8 hours a day. Nobody, can say, hey, I work 3 times more than somebody else, or I work 4 times more than somebody else. No, right? So think about it. Why on earth with someone financially, because I'm in business, right? I'm in the finance space, right? So I like, there's multiple different platforms, multiple different platforms of education that I educate people on, right? Whether it's their finances, their faith, their fitness, right? Their fulfillment, what moves them, right? But my priority in this space, in the mindset space, where I educate, empower, and enrich people, is finances specifically. So if you're here, we're going to be talking about money, right? Who likes money? We're going to be talking about money. Now think about it. How on earth could someone, if potentially, let's say hypothetically somebody's making, let's say you're making $2,000 a month, somebody's making $4,000 a month. Yeah, that's possible. Why? They're working 2 times more than you. What about if you're making $2,000 and somebody's making $6,000? Is it possible now that they're making 3 times more than you? Right? Can someone actually work 10x harder than somebody else? No, the answer is no, ladies and gentlemen. So why is someone making $100,000 a year when the majority, the average in the United Kingdom is less than 25,000? Why? How come somebody's making $100,000 in London when the majority of people are not even making 25,000? Ladies and gentlemen, that's 4 times more that a lot of people are making. Think about how. We can't say they work 4 hours, 4 times more. I mean, think about it. If you're working 20 hours a week, can we say somebody's working 80 hours a week? Okay. What about the person that's making 200,000 now? 20,000 now? Can we say now person is what? Oh, now they're working 8 times more than me? No. Oh, they're working 8 times more hours than me? No. We all got 24 hours, ladies and gentlemen. So what's here? What's the element that's making the difference here? How can someone's making $1 million a year when somebody else is making 20,000 a year? How? What's the difference, right? There's a saying, information changes situations, right? The reason Elon Musk is where he's at now is because of the information that he was exposed to 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, right? CEOs and entrepreneurs understand that it's what? It's 90 to 99% spiritual, right? 4.5, 5 years ago, when I got involved in entrepreneurship, my sole focus was, how can I make a sale? How can I get a customer? How can I present my platform to others? Right? How can I build a team? How can I do this? How can I do that? The how. Don't get it wrong. The hows, the techniques, the strategies, they're all right. Yeah, you need to master them all, but they're not as important as the mindset, right? They're not as important as the mental side of things, the spiritual side of things. You need, of course, you gotta learn how to communicate effectively. Of course, you gotta learn how to lead people. Of course, you gotta learn how to make a sale. Of course, you gotta learn how to present. But all of those things, I promise you, someone that's making 10x than you, they're not better than you 10x when it comes to their leadership. They're not better than you 10x when it comes to their communication. They're not better than you 10x when it comes to their ability to lead people. No, they're not. They just thought 10x more than you. Simple as that. They just thought what? They just thought 10x more than you. There's an individual called Kevin Trudeau, right? And I came across him. He has this thing called the success balance scale. Okay, the success balance scale. And remember, I said I started being an entrepreneur for a few years. Just under a year ago is when I discovered about Kevin Trudeau. He talks about how success is 90 to 99%. Guess what? Mental side. Right? It's the mental side. It's the psychological side. Then we have what? We have the 1 to 10%, that is the mechanics, the actual how-tos, the techniques, the strategies, right? I can see people are tuning in from Facebook. We have a few people from YouTube as well. And then we have a few people from IG. Hey, IG family, I hope you're all well, right? Yeah, I'm trying out a new platform called Restream.io, and it's a studio, online studio. And I just didn't want it to come on here and just be on the platform trying it out. But instead, I thought, you know what, let me provide a piece of value to each and every one of you that are going to be tuning in. So really excited for that. If you're finding value in this live, make sure you share it with a few people that you care about, few people that are entrepreneurs, few people that are in our space or in our industry, right? Now, think about it. If you haven't read a book called The Magic of Thinking Big, I would highly encourage you actually go grab your hands on books. Now, think about it. The average CEO reads 50 books a year. That's 1 book a week, ladies and gentlemen. The average CEO reads what? 1 book a week. That's over 52 books a year. Guess what? The average people don't even read. That's the average CEOs. The average people don't even read 5 books a year. They don't. And then they wonder, why is my life not changing? Because think about it. Every single solution that you want is in a book. Every one of them. You have a problem with your health? Is it somewhere in a book? You're having issues with your mental state? Somewhere in a book. right? Anyone that has achieved some massive level of success in the world we live in has written a book. I'm thinking about it, right? Someone said here, Muhammad TWT, right? One of my good friends from the US, he said, hey, information changes situations. It's 100% fact, ladies and gentlemen. Information changes situations, right? Sam Walton, think about it, right? This individual created one of the biggest companies in the world. What do we want to do in business? We want to create a company, right? If we're networking, we want to create a company within a company. If we're in real estate, we want to create a company within an industry. But guess what? We're not even willing to read Sam Walton's book. And you can have all your philosophies about Donald Trump. I respect him as a businessman. Man went $1 billion in debt. Once with his wife, he was walking on New York Street. And then guess what he said to his wife? Hey, honey, this man is worth $1 billion more than me. And his wife was like, really? Is he that rich? And then he said, no, I'm assuming he has nothing. Was $1 billion in debt? Guess what? Now worth billions again. Why? Because his mindset wasn't, I'm worth 10, 20 pounds an hour. His mindset wasn't, I'm worth 10 grand an hour. His mindset wasn't, I'm worth 10 million. His mindset was, I'm a billionaire. Like Muhammad said, information changes situation, ladies and gentlemen. It's what 90 to 99%, 90 to 99% what? Psychological. 10% is what? Mechanics. The actual how-to, the techniques, the strategies, right? And by the way, these lives are going to be continuous. Okay, we're going to be doing these lives every other day on YouTube, on Facebook, and as well as IG. And if you haven't subscribed to my Mindset, podcast, you're going to see somewhere a link, either on my Instagram, my Facebook, or my Snapchat somewhere. Just swipe up, just click on it. It's free, costs nothing to join. Okay, and whilst you're driving or going anywhere, just tune in. Okay, the Mindset Muhammad podcast is available on any different platform, any platform that your phone is on. Okay, it's available on every single one of those. I mean, just to summarize, okay, think about it. What is success? Success is what? 90 to 99%, ladies and gentlemen, the mindset side, okay? And then we have the last 1 to 10%, that is the actual mechanics, the how to, the strategies, right? Now, think about it. You should worry about the physical side. You should worry about how am I going to do this. You should worry about the media. You should worry about your public speaking ability. You should worry about your level of, leadership. You should worry about, every single one of those things. But guess what? You should be worried more than that, ladies and gentlemen. You should worry about the mindset things, right? Right now, I swear to God, to each and every one of you, right now, I know people that are literally making 1,000 a month right now. I mean, 1,000 an hour right now. When I say 1,000 a month, 1,000 an hour right now. When the average is making what? 1,000 or two or three a month. How's that person? How these people make that type of money financially? How? Simple. They just told 10x more than the average. I mean, think about it, right? In the Magic of Thinking book, chapter 1, the author highlights, okay, the professor, he highlights how an executive was speaking to what? To his sales force, and he told them, hey, everybody, how is this guy making 10x more than you? To the rest. And guess what? Some people argued. Oh, he's working more hours than us. And guess what? The fact was he was actually taking more time off. Some said, oh, he's more educated than us. He went to an average education. Some said his IQ is higher than us. Guess what? His IQ was average. And then the vice president of that company told his sales force, there's one thing that this guy does that each and every one of you don't. One thing, ladies and gentlemen, one thing and only. He taught 10x more than each and every one of you. He taught 10x more than each and every one of you. Right? And just to summarize it right now, think about it, right? Do me a favor, do yourself a favor, do your loved ones a favor, do your future, okay, a favor. And right now, whatever your goal is in the next year, 1 year this time, where would you want to be? Right? 10 years from now, where would you want to be? God willing, if my time or your time is not over, we're going to be here 10 years from now anyways. Right? We're going to be here 10 years from now, ladies and gentlemen. What is your goal going to be financially 10 years from now? Think about it. Let's say we are, okay, 11th of October, 2031. Where would you want to be financially? If you're 18 years old on this call, you'll be 28 years old. If you're 30 on this call, you'll be 40. Regardless, whether you spend sleeping 8 hours a day. By the way, billionaires don't sleep 8 hours a day. Millionaires even don't even sleep 8 hours a day. Right? And anybody that told you, hey, 8 hours a day is the healthy way of making, your sleep, no, it's BS. It's nothing true about it. Right? Not scientifically proven. Sleeping 8 hours a day. Hey, if you can do 5 or 6, you're good. That's my opinion, right? and based on a lot of the people that are high performers that I've had conversations with about sleeping. Now think about it. Where would you want to be? Hey, if you sleep in 8 hours a day and you're working 8 hours a day and you're enjoying your time 8 hours a day, think about it. 10 years will pass by whether you like it or not. Whether we like it or not, 10 years will pass by. 10 years from now, where would you want to be? Because I promise you, some people seeing this information or some people that are hearing this information elsewhere are going to be somewhere completely different 10 years from now. Okay? My plan was to hop on this live to try out this Restream platform. Thank you very much for each and everyone that tuned in. Thank you very much for your engagement. Really appreciate each and every one of you. Okay. Yes, information changes income, information changes situations. Thanks everybody for tuning in. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the Mindset Mohammed podcast, do so. If you haven't subscribed to the Mindset Mohammed YouTube channel, do so. And of course, whatever you find value in, from this piece of live, hit me up. Okay. Message me. Hey, let me know what you find value in. Okay. And let's have a conversation as well. Okay. With that said, God bless each and every one of you. Take care. Have a good time, everybody.